You've been told the WNBA is evolving because of pure talent. You think the draft is simply about picking the best player on the board to win games. But WNBA front offices are actually throwing out their old playbooks to survive a new geometric war. The classic best player strategy is officially dead because gravity is now more important than talent.
While the world focuses on the flash of the logo 3, the actual architectural counter-movement is Paige Bueckers' surgical mid-range efficiency. To understand the 2025 and 2027 draft landscapes, you must realize that Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers represent two opposing geometric philosophies. Unlike Clark, who uses vertical gravity to stretch the floor 30 feet out, Bueckers utilizes horizontal manipulation and the lost art of the 15-foot jumper to collapse defenses from the inside out. WNBA front offices are realizing that to maximize a Bueckers-type archetype, you cannot simply stack shooters, you need elite cutters. This is why the Dallas Wings strategically paired Bueckers with Azzi Fudd, a move designed to exploit the dead zones of the court. According to FIBA reports, her ability to set up transition looks proves she functions as a spatial optimizer rather than a volume shooter. A glaring example of this was her viral transition assist to Clark during USA basketball training, demonstrating how she navigates high traffic areas with precision. This matters because it offers a tactical alternative to the high variance 3 or bust model. Bueckers forces GMs to decide if they want to live by the long-range sword or win through high-percentage mid-range mastery. But this isn't just a difference in shooting styles. It has created a brand new breed of defensive specialist that didn't exist in the league 5 years ago. The modern WNBA defense is architecturally designed to protect the rim and the three-point line, leaving a mathematical void in the center of the floor. Caitlin Clark exploits the ceiling of this geometry, but Paige Bueckers dominates its width. By operating in the short corner and the high post, Bueckers forces defenders to abandon their structural zones. While a typical guard's gravity pulls defenders toward the basket, her horizontal gravity pulls them toward the sidelines, creating massive lanes for secondary attackers. Application of this horizontal model requires a specific roster construction centered on telepathic spacing. In 2024, UConn demonstrated this by utilizing Bueckers as a point-forward hybrid, where she averaged a career-high 21.9 points per game while shooting over 53% from the field. This efficiency is achieved by manipulating the elbow of the court, using a single jab step to shift a defender's center of gravity by mere inches. As UConn head coach Gino Auriemma stated, she's got a solution for everything that's happening on the court before it happens. This shift is vital because it proves that offensive efficiency isn't just about the shot clock, it's about floor mapping. By mastering the horizontal plane, Bueckers ensures her team never plays into a congested paint. She isn't just a scorer. She is a structural engineer who converts contested mid-rangers into high-value possessions. However, this expansion of the court has triggered a frantic arms race in the free agency market for one specific rare type of player. The arrival of Caitlin Clark has forced a fundamental redesign of the WNBA's defensive shell. Rather than guarding the traditional three-point arc, opponents must now account for a 35-foot scoring radius, effectively expanding the playable court by nearly 25%. This is the architecture of gravity. Clark's presence creates a vertical pull that shifts the entire defensive unit 3 to 5 feet further from the basket than the game's original design intended. To capitalize on this, the Indiana Fever have moved away from traditional roster construction toward vertical spacing. Front offices are now prioritizing hypermobile screeners who can sprint to the logo and set high-velocity picks. A traditional slow-footed center becomes an instant liability in this system because the screen must be set at the 30-foot mark to trigger Clark's gravity. As Clark herself noted regarding her range, once you cross half court, you're in range. It opens up so many lanes for everyone else. This shift makes talent stacking obsolete. A team now requires a specific geometric footprint. When a defender commits to the logo to stop the shot, they concede a 4-on-3 advantage in the paint, effectively giving Clark's teammates the highest percentage looks in basketball. However, this expansion of the court has triggered a frantic arms race in the free agency market for one specific rare type of player. The emergence of superstars with unlimited range and elite mid-range probes has birthed a new defensive archetype, the boundary defender. Traditional positional labels like guard, forward, or center are being discarded because they cannot account for the sheer distance these players cover. In this high-stakes environment, being good at defense is no longer enough. Teams now value lateral versatility over raw height. This specific evolution is a direct response to a league where the scoring threats now reside well outside the structure of the traditional 15-foot defensive shell. Front offices are now aggressively overvaluing players who can switch 1 through 4 without a drop-off in foot speed. To neutralize Caitlin Clark, teams are scouting chaser defenders, high-cardio athletes capable of fighting through screens 30 feet from the rim for 40 minutes. Conversely, stopping Paige Bueckers requires a wall defender with the discipline to withstand her pump fakes and triple threat probes. This has led to a market surge for players like Brittany Sykes or Easy Magbagor, who possess the 7-foot-plus wingspans and recovery speed necessary to contest shots in these expanded zones. This matters because the WNBA free agency market is seeing specialized stoppers receive massive contracts simply because they fit the geometric requirements to suppress these two players. It is a tactical arms race. While the offense tries to expand the court, the defense is desperately trying to shrink it. This defensive evolution is why the old way of drafting by position is officially obsolete. Drafting in the 2020s has transitioned from a search for physical size to a quest for spatial compatibility. General managers are now discarding the traditional best player available strategy because a high talent roster with clashing spatial profiles leads to internal gridlock. Instead, the blueprint centers on geometric symmetry, ensuring every player's movement profile complements the primary star's gravity. Look at the Dallas Wings 2027 strategy by targeting Paige Bueckers at Nombier C. Loué, then Adeban with Pullers, Pay Folds, Pli Amdir Balstwo. And immediately securing her teammate Azzi Fudd, the front office prioritized a high symmetry cutting system. This wasn't merely a play for chemistry, it was an investment in spatial optimization. In this model, the power forward title is irrelevant. The focus is on whether a player functions as a vertical spacer or a horizontal cutter. As the game evolves, positions are being replaced by roles of influence that define where a player stands to provide the most mathematical value. This proves that the WNBA has entered its positionless era. The rivalry between Clark and Bueckers is the catalyst forcing scouts to pick a side in the draft rooms. You either build a system based on extreme vertical gravity or one based on surgical interior precision. But there is a deeper, unspoken layer to this rivalry that goes beyond the box score. Beyond the tactical blueprints and the geometric spacing, a high-stakes struggle for cultural and commercial supremacy is unfolding within USA basketball circles. The unspoken rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers represents a fundamental battle for the face of the league, where internal influence often outweighs external box scores. During the 2024 Olympic cycle, the discourse surrounding roster selection and training camp performance underscored a pivotal shift. The league's power dynamics are no longer dictated solely by seniority, but by a player's ability to command the soul of the game's future. This power struggle manifests in the marketing and branding strategies of the WNBA's largest partners. While Clark has shattered viewership records and propelled the Indiana Fever to unprecedented ticket sales, Bueckers maintains a unique leverage in the NIL and endorsement landscape, having signed landmark deals with Nike and Gatorade that rival veteran contracts. Bueckers admitted in a recent interview, "Caitlin has done so much for the game, but I want to be the best player in the world." This mutual respect masks a fierce competition for visibility, where every social media metric and all-star vote serves as a proxy for league-wide influence. This matters because the draft war is ultimately a battle over commercial identity. Choosing to build a franchise around the populist, long-range appeal of Clark versus the refined technical prestige of Bueckers determines how a team attracts corporate sponsors and elite free agents. This rivalry is the catalyst for a structural revolution that is fundamentally redesigning the WNBA's economic and architectural future. The rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers has moved beyond the box score to trigger a permanent structural revolution. This isn't just a competition of talent, it is the birth of architectural basketball. In the modern era, teams are moving away from the best player available philosophy to embrace geometric super teams that serve specific offensive blueprints. As the 2024 and 2025 cycles have proven, the WNBA has been fundamentally redesigned by these two forces. Front offices now face a strategic binary. You either invest in logo range gravity that stretches the world and demands high-velocity vertical spacing, or you commit to the surgical precision that carves the defense from the inside out. As the Dallas Wings and Indiana Fever have demonstrated, the choice of a cornerstone dictates every subsequent roster move, from the type of mobile screeners you sign to the specific lateral quickness of your bench. We are entering an age where the league hasn't just grown, it has been fundamentally redesigned. The positionless era is no longer a theory. It is a mathematical necessity. Whether you prefer the vertical expansion of the court or the horizontal mastery of its dead zones, one reality remains. The era of the geometric superteam is here to stay. So what do you think? The unspoken rivalry between Clark and Paige Bueckers reshaping modern WNBA team construction is really exciting. Let us know your predictions in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like this video, share it with your fellow basketball fans, and subscribe to Flagrant Basketball for more interesting stories like this. We bring you the untold narratives, the behind-the-scenes training, and the real stories that shape the WNBA. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest content.